Kelekeqe, Ashole Onto, General Engineer in the 18 area, bringing you another episode of the GNPS here at our new lovely setup, brand spanking new. As you can see, we've improved on light today, so we are much brighter. Before we go too far, do the right thing, hit the subscribe button, like, join us in the comments. If we touch on something that touches you, do the right thing. Hit us on the comments. I'm definitely living in the comments these days, out there for you guys. Nonetheless, let's expand on the conversation, man. Welcome to the GNPS, hosted by yours truly, General. And today we are here to talk about today's game between the Orlando Pirates and the Sekhukhune United. It was a Betway Premiership match that took place tonight, Tuesday. It was played out at the Orlando Amstel Arena esigodini sikaMamenzela bafowethu. La kungaphunywa khona. Now everyone knows in the PSL ukuthi if you're esigodini, you in for a tough time. Now it's Sekhukhune. They came up against Pirates tonight after having faced the Pirates on the weekend, and unfortunately for his Sekhukhune, but fortunately for the Pirates, they came out 1-0 winners in that game. And today, the Orlando Pirates came out trumps once again. Last week it was 1, this week it's 2. So I'm guessing on the weekend it's going to be 3. I'm kidding. Hopefully, Orlando Pirates does well. If you don't know yet, I'm an Orlando Pirates fan. But, however, that's not the reason why we're talking about the Orlando Pirates today. Now, today's game, Pirates, I'm just going to go through the starting lineup. Basically, let's just do player ratings before we go too far. Sipho Chain, I'd give him I'd say a 7. He didn't have much to do today, but however, there is that header that... Who got that header? I think it was Mkhize, if I'm not mistaken. And Sipho Chain was at the right spot. Oh, no, it was Piri, the sub, who came on in the second half. He got a header in the second half later in the game. But unfortunately, it was straight. Unfortunately for him, and fortunately for Chain, for positioning himself very well, he was able to collect it easily. Although in the first half, there was a mix-up between him and Usbanga Nizulu. I think Usbanga Nizulu decided to let the ball go over him in hopes that Uchain is going to come out and collect. But Uchain was undecided, and I think the striker just nicked it a little bit. But unfortunately for them, it's Sekhukhune. Yeah, Pumele Celeni. Yeah, I think that was close. So other than that, Sipho Chain, solid game. Once again, another clean sheet. And then at the end of the season, people are going to ask, why is Sipho Chain no goalkeeper of the season? Clean sheets, buddy. Clean sheets. That's why. Moving on, the centre-back pairing between Usiema and Zulu. Wow. Usiema, not Ubengeko at his usual best, not the Siema that we know. But Uzulu, wow, I was impressed. He had a great game. I think Sekhukhune initially had targeted him in terms of their press, because I think Sekhukhune was pressing very high. I think pretty much most of the game. It's said that the Orlando Pirates, we are a bit lacking now in the creative department since Utito is gone. And we've also lost Mfukeng. Who else plays in that position as well at Pirates? De Jong is injured. Yeah, man, and that means basically we have to throw in Masilela in there, which was his second start. Third, was it? Yeah, I think it was his third start. No, second. And I think the boy, he was decent, but I feel like he's too quiet for my liking to be playing that 10 position, especially with Pirates. So I think if you were to ask me, I think management needs to do something. We need to go out and get numbers. We need numbers in the 10 position. In the striking department, I wouldn't say we need to make any additions. Already, I'm moving around now. But anyways, let's cover the strikers since we've already started. Already, there's just a few things in his game that I personally think that they need some work. He needs to put in some work, especially when it comes to hold up play. The way he holds up the ball, I think it's not to the best of his ability. I think he can do more on that. What I liked from him today is the running behind the defense that he was making, of which that's how he scored that goal that he scored today. Beautiful run behind the defense and first touch and into the net. I do not know why players in the PSL like to do this. In the box, you have to minimize the touches. I'm no expert, but I've seen great strikers do it, and the best way you answer is that not too many touches. Once you take a touch, you've given time to the defender. If you're playing against smarter defenders, they're going to close you down quickly. So if already Obane can work on that, and I see that he's been working, you can tell. Hence his accuracy today. He got a chance in the first half, which was off to the side. I guess no one scores those Brian Leon type of goals from that angle, which is why I think Sundowns fans were complaining last season that that goal probably deserved the shout in terms of goal of the season. But nonetheless, Radio Pane, I guess he scuffed that one and then obviously got the second chance in the second half and he buried it. Yeah, and it was 1-0 to Pirates. So he had a great game. And then the wing backs, Uhoto and Billy. Hoto, I think giving him the captain's armband was a bit too much for him. I think he couldn't handle it because he wasn't playing his normal game. I mean, I know he makes mistakes from time to time, but today it was just like, it wasn't the usual Hoto that we know, especially the Hoto of late who's been spotless. So today I saw some frailties in terms of his attacking play. Especially in that last third, his decision making at times, for a lack of a better word, it was poor. Man, I think it's that pressure of leading the team, being the captain. Obviously, you can imagine why Abosby is always getting game time, because when you're an Orlando Pirates captain, it's very important. It's demanding because you have to lead by example. You have to lead from the front. So all your actions have to be on point. Yeah. So I think Uhoto was just having a tough time. And also just coming from a type of game that he had over the weekend. I think Sekhukhune did enough to exploit the space that he was leaving behind whenever he would go up. Because I think they were using most of that left-hand side to get at Pirates. And then Sbelebele, not much to say about him. I think defensively he was much better. He looked like he could defend. He wasn't beaten every second time, an attacker comes at him. He did well to recover. Especially on that rest defense, him and a couple of times I saw him and Hoto as our rest defense, which was my interesting to say something about it. Also in midfield, wow. I think that Mokobodi and Mutiane combination is coming along just fine. Iyavutwa. Isiyela ngasekuvuthweni if siyibeka kahle, if sisebenzisa ulimi lokupheka singasho sithi isisondele ekuvuthweni sekusele kancane. Umtiane, great game. His passing, some of the passes that you see as a central midfielder, it's something rare that we often find in the PSL. So it was quite refreshing to see him, attempt those passes and actually get those passes. There's a pass that he put through and it went through to José in the second half. José beautiful 10 and just scuffed the shot. Yeah, man. So finishing is still a big problem at Orlando Pirates. But if we move on and we look at the wingers, I think Apolis, happy birthday to Ozuna Apolis, by the way. He played a brilliant game as well. I think today I saw more energy, something that we haven't seen from Apolis this season. I think he's been lacking in terms of giving us that energy to to do things with urgency. Whenever he's on the ball, today he looked like something that we used to. He looked closer to that Apollos that we saw last season. So as far as he's concerned, I'd give him a 7 as well. I think he did really well. And I'm looking forward to seeing him again going forward, especially this weekend in the second leg of the M10-8. And then Masilela, once again, I think it's just the shoes are a bit too big for the boy to feel at the moment. So I think he's gonna require patience from the support base, and we need to support him. We need to give him a support. And the boy is not a bad player, and there's definitely potential in him. I just think he just needs more confidence and time in that position. But in the meantime, going forward, Pirates we have very big ambitions. So if you ask me, I'd say management needs to dip into that pocket. They need to do something. I don't know. Ovid Boy Ukona, we've shown interest in the boy. I think at this point, I don't think management planned to sell Utito. I think it was just a coincidence that a deal came through, and it maybe possibly it was too good to resist type of thing. So management just executed on that. So yeah, the boy, I give him 6 out of 10. And Umokobodi, I give him a 7. Obviously, Umtiane, man of the match, 9 out of 10. And then we have Sendame. Sendame didn't have a good game. I think, I don't know if it's a fitness thing or possibly maybe he lacks pace. I don't think so. I think the reason we bought him was his pace. I think that's why he was brought to Pirates. I thought he's a pacey winger. But just today, it wasn't there. And then if we look at chance creation, I think Pirates were more decisive in terms of the chances that they were creating. Sekhukhune, they did create chances, but they lacked the conversion. And then in terms of ball retention, I think Pirates were very strong in terms of attacking and retaining the ball whenever they had it. At times, I did feel that we were a bit sloppy in terms of how we lost the ball. And obviously, but then I guess the one good thing that we did on the day is efficiency. Pirates was efficient today. Didn't create that much, but we converted 2 of those chances. And then Sekhukhune, if you look at them in terms of how they set up versus how they set up this weekend, I think this weekend, today, they were a bit more confident. They were a bit more extravagant in terms of trying things. they weren't so reserved and too cautious, and also there was less physicality. They weren't that robust as they were last weekend. Because last weekend, they were smackdown Buffett. The tackles that were flying in, like I said, Kazim wasn't supposed to finish that game. But today, I think they showed a little bit more disciplined, and they showed up to play. It's good. Hopefully this weekend we're gonna see something similar to that, and they're gonna show up ready to play. Other than that, the subs that came in, you had Ungwato who came in, Jose. I think the both of them not much to write home about once again. Because in the second half, once Apolis came off the pitch, I think we just lost any creative initiative in terms of creating chances, in terms of playing those attackers. Sebastian Pedersen, I don't think there's a ball that was passed through to him, not even once. There were a couple of balls, long balls from Musipo Chain that where he was trying to find him but just couldn't find him. So yeah, hopefully management sees that and addresses it, because outside of Apolis, I don't think we have anything in terms of creativity. And we're still going to have some hard games coming up. If we're serious about ECAF, we definitely need to sign an attacking midfielder. That goes without saying. After today's game, that's the takeaway from this game, is that we do need to replace Utito. If it's Tito that we're replacing, I think Utito we can replace. However, Mfukeng, I don't think we'd ever replace that. So yeah, or we can bring anything closer to that. I think it's in this case, just like our goal scoring problem that we had, it needs an outside hand. We need to go elsewhere outside the country and bring something that's going to work today. Not something we're going to give time, siyabona, salindile. No. We need something now. Thank you, siyabonga. Catch me tomorrow. I'll be reviewing Kaizer Chiefs versus who's Chiefs playing again? They're playing Itep and Sit. I think so. Sundowns is playing Amazulu tomorrow as well. So yeah, more soccer content coming up right here on GNTV. Do the right thing. Hit that subscribe button. Like, comment, share. Thank you.